had a couple of interesting jobs yesterday. I had this completely dead California pepper tree, and I'm just showing a little bit of what the wood looks like, because it would be really easy to look at this and say this would be amazing wood for turning blocks. Well, the color is amazing, but the stability and the movement in this wood is unbearable. I've turned many pieces, including pieces that had some burl in it, like right here, and it always twists and always cracks and always, just blows itself apart. So while it looks pretty, sadly, it goes to the wood pile. It's not even that good for burning. It kind of stinks. Well, right next door, there was another job. A neighbor came over and he showed me this picture of this tree, and here it is. That tree was planted in 1939 by his parents, which I find kind of amazing, because usually a liquidambar of this size is only about 30 years old. So something must have stunted it. During the life of this tree, this gentleman told me that it was repeatedly cut back by the power company. And when I got up in the tree, I went up there with a bucket and I looked at it. I found decay pockets everywhere. Also, a lot of the limbs had completely dried out and they were just riddled with termites. So I gave him two options. I said, A, either remove the tree. And he said, no, it's a sentimental value. This tree was planted by my grandfather. And I said, well, the top part is falling apart. The top of the tree is just self-destructing. So I said, let's cut the tree in half and keep your fingers crossed, and maybe it'll sucker out. We'll leave the bottom foliage, but we'll cut everything up on the top that's dangerous. More than dangerous. Most of it was dead or dying and hardly had any valid tissue in the structure. It was also very, very dry. So fortunately I could get my small bucket truck in close enough to do most of the work. I couldn't do it from the street side because of all the high power lines. But here's a closer look at what I was dealing with. So the whole top of the tree was just self-destructing. This was directly associated with years and years of harsh pruning by the power company. You can see that the tree was topped really harshly at one time down lower, and it developed an upper canopy, so some of the wounds down low are completely encapsulated. So I've got most of this just about down. Actually, I've got a little bit more to go here. That upper portion, though, kind of threw me. I couldn't quite reach it with the bucket. The small bucket just didn't quite make it. With the power lines and that branch hanging over the power lines, I decided to call it quits for today and come back with a big bucket.